Got your back against the wall, now you know you never had a chance. Should've known better, now you better make other plans. There's no going back, gotta let you know in advance. This is Yam Squad, it's the Team Avalanche. This is Yam Squad, it's the Team Avalanche. This is Yam Squad, it's the Team Avalanche. There's no going back, gotta let you know in advance. This is Yam Squad, it's the Team Avalanche.
How's it going, YouTube? This is Joe Grizz for the Team Avalanche Worldwide YouTuber, back once again with another exciting video. Once again with my boy Tito Hollywood Santiago. This time with his Shaddoll artifact deck profile. What's good, bro?
Chilling.
You look drained.
I'm tired.
Yeah, I can tell. It is
6 o'clock in the morning.
6 in the morning, and we've been up all night.
Yes.
But yeah, why do you play this deck? Why do you like this deck?
I mean,
This variant of the deck. Why do you like this variant of the deck?
I need consistent light type monsters in my life, and Moral Tech is the only consistent light type monster I can possibly come up with.
Agreed, agreed. Definitely the truth.
So it's like, why not? Sanctums. I mean, I'm surprised by Worlds that after Worlds they didn't get hit. So like, why not?
Because they didn't win.
I mean, it still came in second place though, so should have at least did something to one of them, either Sanctum or Moral Tech, because these cards are still broken. But whatever. I guess I'll just play with what I have for now.
Okay.
And those are the light types that are like the most reliable at this point in time, because Construct is too good. But I guess we'll just get into the profile.
Let's get into it.
We don't want another 80-minute video.
Oh, no.
The monsters are as is.
Before let me get this in your Iron Man.
Of course.
Swagger. Alright, cool.
Gotta have your tokens, bro. So the monsters are as follows. The Shadow monsters is of course the Trip Beast, 2 Falco, 2 Dragon, 2 Hedgehog. This is my favorite Shadow monster, but I just can't bring myself to play 3. And like, I just, a lot of people say that it's not the best one in the deck. I believe it is, because the best card in the deck, well, second best card in the deck is Shadow Fusion. And this automatically gets it to you if you set it, but sometimes you just don't get that lucky to be able to flip it and get its effect off. So 2 is the consistent number that everybody seems to be playing, so why not? The 2 Squamatas. I started this day off playing 3 of them because I saw a deck list online. Shoutouts to Ultra Reality Gaming for putting these deck profiles up. And a lot of them were playing 3. I was trying to understand why, so I tested it. I didn't really notice the difference, except I kept siding one out for like cards, and it just never really mattered. So I just dumbed it down to 2 because it just doesn't seem like, you know, drawing another card other than Squamata just seems better. The staple monster as well, Trip Mathematician, and I play the one Armageddonite for reasons you're gonna find out later.
Okay.
The artifacts, which is Trip Moral Tech. I don't play Beagle Tech because I think that card is kind of bad no matter where he is. Whether he's in the back row, whether he's in your hand, whether he's in the deck, I just think he's terrible. And like, then you have to play cards like Ignition. I mean, Ignition is pretty good, but like, everything's chainable in this format, so like Ignition would only be good against like Vanity's Emptiness, and like I just think having all these extra cards in the deck is just not necessary. So I just play the straight 3 Moral Tech, 3 Sanctums, and call it a day. Then there's, of course, Big Daddy Luster. This card wins too many games to not play, and is the comeback card of the year. Has to be. And then the reason I play the one Armageddonite is because it allows me to go into the rank 4s with my other light type that's reliable, White Dragon Wyvern Buster. People play Raidens, people play Lilas, people play that dog, I don't even know what it's called, but the one that just like keeps recycling itself into the deck. There's like a whole bunch of other light types that you can experiment with. There's like Magical Merchant. There's some people who have been testing. I wanted to be crazy and play Air Knight Parshath, but like there's not too many Yu-Gi-Oh cards that like if someone sets a Scar, I might just lose. So the light types just need to be straight to the point. I mean, Rainbow Karibo is a good light type to play as well, but I just don't fancy drawing that card or having it at all. Then the spell lineup is the Trip Shadow Fusion, the most important card in the deck. Well, the second most important card in the deck, because there's another card that's in the deck that if you have to play 3 of this card, I believe it. But of course the staple, the Super Poly, If you're not playing this in Shadows, you're insane. It went to 1 for a reason, and it's like I don't even know what the hell to call it. It's super poly. You can't do anything when it flips.
It's the end all be all.
I wouldn't call it the be all end all. Is probably what you meant to say, but
yeah, that.
Like it does a lot. Like it interrupts. It gets you going, because most likely you're gonna be making a construct, or even if it's a window. Like if you use it to bring out window, like most likely you're breaking your opponent's board to do it, and then they're not gonna be able to do anything after that. If they're just if it's like a turn 1 play, but it promotes OTK. Like it does too much for the deck. So like if you just don't play it, you're just insane, like utterly insane. Soul Charge is there for my rank 4 plays, like make a Leo against some of the matchups so they can't kill it, and it's like just I guess make unbeatable wards as it always does. Like why not play it? It's still a pretty broke card even though it's at 1. The 1 Foolish Burial. I mean, obviously it gets all my effects off, and like it's an extra shadow card whenever you need it. The Book of Moon to help defend against trap stuns and to help reset shadow monsters. The Regeki. I play the Regeki because I'm allowed to make the rank 4s, so Abyss Dweller Regeki seems to be like a broken combo that everybody's using. Like Stellar Knights are using that pretty often, and like Regeki is just like, why the hell did they bring it back? You have to play it. Exactly. Look at your face. You're like, yeah, I should be doing that. Yes, Abyss Dweller in Stellar Knights is like this to make, and if you have a Regeki, nothing's happening. You're just blowing up your opponent's board. The trap cards that I play in the deck are pretty much 3 of everything, and the most important card in the deck, of course, Sinister Shadow Games.
Never thought about that.
Oh, you see, enlightening people without even having to play, without even including Shadows.
Yeah, that's. I'm like.
I mean, a lot of people know about that play. It's like if you don't, now you do, and hopefully the information makes everyone out there a little better. That's what we're trying to do.
I argued for like the longest why mass destruction cards were no longer viable in the deck anymore.
I mean, mass destruction cards aren't like the greatest cards right now, but like there's certain tips and tricks that you can still play, especially with Regeki, because it only destroys your opponent's cards. But like cards like Dark Hole and Torrential and all these other mass destruction cards that you named in like like your other video or whatnot, like they're not terrible, but they don't put your opponent in negative situations anymore. So it's like you excommunicate them for other cards that would put your opponent in negative situations. Sinister Shadow Games is by far the greatest thing to ever happen to Shadows. Well, as of now. If you don't believe this card is great, you're also insane, because this card does everything from activating insert shadow monster card here to being able to go, like, you go from, with Sinister Shadow Games Falco, you go from Sinister Shadow Games, if you have like no cards in your hand and they're your only 2 cards, Sinister Shadow Games Falco draws you, gets you 4 cards closer in your deck, and puts an Arcanine Magician on board or a Mass Destruction card like Black Rose on board, and it just promotes way too much. Like my favorite play actually is, which is why I believe Hedgehog is the best. Sinister Shadow Games Hedgehog is ridiculous because you flip it, you get to search the Shadow Fusion, and your Shadow Fusion is instantly live because you can dump Squamata to dump Falco to put the Falco on board. Then if they didn't kill the Hedgehog, you Shadow Fusion the Hedgehog, you flip the Falco, get the Squamata. Activate the Shaddoll Fusion to put the Hedgehog and the Squamata in the graveyard. That's a search that you get, a dump that you get, and you can make an Arcanine Magician with the Falco that you flipped off of the window that you're summoning, or Black Rose the board. Like there's so many plays that Sinister Shadow Game promotes after being successfully flipped during the end phase that it's just like it has to be the best card in the deck. It absolutely has to be. I mean, of course you have to get by like the trap stuns and the wiretaps, but there's no reason to not play it at 3. And then it's the 3 artifact cards, which is Sanctum. There's not really needing to explain that. Like Sanctum is Sanctum. It's what gets you the moral text, and like it's Sanctum. I played 3 Vanity's Emptiness.
Best card in the game.
Not necessarily the best card in the game, but the best floodgate card in the game. Like there's no other card in the game that doesn't allow your opponent to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Like Vanity's Emptiness does. And like playing it at any number less than 3 is like, you would have to be playing a turbo deck to get to it, because this card is quite important against any matchup. So like if you're trying to like play 2 of or play a 1 of, if you're not playing excessive draw cards to get you to this 1 of powerful card, you're insane. And like if the off chance that you draw multiples of them in your hand, like there's the times where it's bad, yes, because you know you essentially open with 4 cards if you drew 2 of them, but it always comes in handy. Always. There's never a point in time in the game where you can't flip an emptiness and make your opponent go minus. Unless they already went turn 1, play all my cards, and I have no cards in hand and all my cards are on the board, then of course Vanity's Emptiness is dead. But if you go first and put all your cards on the board and you have Vanity's Emptiness, you win. Like there's nothing your opponent can do. So, and then there's the 1 of traps, the warning, the compulse, and I play 1 Shaddoll core. It's too relevant to get back to Shadow fusions when you know there's like a imminent threat of like something that's gonna get rid of your fusion monster and not let you recycle. Like you can get rid of it with the Squamata. You can use it in a Shadow fusion. It's gonna be really good in the up and coming set when new challengers comes out. I believe I might bump it up to 2, but right now it's good as a 1 of. And the fact that it just counts as any, attribute is going to be really, really good in the upcoming set when we get the Earth and the Fire guy. Because I hear these card effects that they have, I don't quite remember which one has what, but according to what they do, it sounds like it's going to be like Lagia Doka for Shaddolls. So it's just going to be stupid. And the fact that this can count for anything is just going to make it that much more free. The extra deck is looking like the Shadow monsters are 2 Constructs, 2 Windows. The synchros, there was one problem I had with the synchros, because there's of course the level 6 play that you have promoted with the level 4 Shaddolls and the Falco, but I opted not to play a level 6 synchro because the space is kind of crucial with the whole wanting to play rank 4s and wanting to play rank 5s with the artifacts and stuff. So I cut out the possible Goyle, or that people are playing like the HCS Psyhemoth because it's a light type or whatnot, I don't know. But I just chose not to. If the situation ever comes where I need a level 6, I doubt a Goyo is going to help. Or HTF Psyhemoth might help, but like I'd rather just have the level 4 and the Falco on board for something else. It's the 1 Armadius, because using an already used Mathematician with the Falco to make something that's just going to negate my opponent's Shadow effects or Burning Abyss effects is pretty good. The 1 Arcanite Magician, that's pretty standard. This Black Rose Dragon is supposed to be Michael, the Lights one, what is it, Arch something?
I have no idea.
I don't remember his entire name. But it's supposed to be a Michael because Michael, through testing, I found out that being able to summon a Michael when I have a Moral Tech on board is so much better than Black Rosing my opponent's board, or Black Rosing my own board rather. And like, Michael gets rid of, like in the mirror match, Michael will get rid of like a construct or, not that I probably have to worry about it since I summoned the Moral Tech, but Michael, the fact that Michael banishes, it's what's pretty good. Like I can banish a Dante, I can banish constructs, banish windows, like banish things that normally that if you destroy them they would have effects would be bad. Like the reason people play Chaos Sorcerer and all that other stuff in these decks is not only because it's a Chaos monster, but because it helps banish like all these Burning Abyss monsters that get their effects when they float, and all these other like banishing a Deneb for him not to have a target for alter later is pretty good, and that's what Michael promotes. Then it's the Almighty Leo. Summon this guy, and like every time this guy hits the field, the game should possibly be over, unless they have the Regeki as the out. But there's not really.
Well, honest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah,
That's
honest. You can
right now.
Like right now, I believe this guy. Yeah, you're actually right about that. Like I do believe that this guy is possibly the best synchro right now, because all these cards. I mean, besides Wing Blast and Karmika and all these other cards that target, like there's not really much you can do to this guy because he's just too strong. Like in the mirror match, like you can just summon a construct and kill it, but if he's followed by like any other card, like if I have a Sanctum or if I have a Vanity's Emptiness or anything like that could just prevent you from putting a construct on board, like he's just solid. And then the ranks are the rank 5s. I have the Pleiades. It's kind of difficult to bring this out, other than like having 2 like soul charging for moral tech, or you know activating Sanctum to bring out one that, and I already had one on board to play him. He's kind of hard, but it's kind of like better to have it
than not have it.
Need it and need it and not have it. Yeah. So like I might take it out if there's a better option somewhere along the lines. And then there's the Durandal. Being able to summon this off of 2 beasts is pretty good. I've actually used the shuffle hand effect more than anything, because it gets your like resetting your opponent's hand is kind of good, and sometimes you open those those hands where it's just like my cards aren't doing anything right now, or you want to shuffle back some of the moral text that you drew in so that your Sanctums can be live. It promotes things like that. But the other effect to negate card effects to turn them into MSTs is actually kind of insane, because like you'll just summon it, like they'll summon a tour guide activate effect, now your tour guide is MSTing my card and not like summoning another monster. Or like flipping a Vanity's Emptiness. I'm not sure the ruling on that, like if you flip a continuous trap card or a continuous spell card to turn it into an MST, I'm not sure what exactly happens, like, but I'm almost 100% positive, like if you activated a Tanky on this and I activated this effect in chain and you had no responses after that, your Tanky turned into an MST and you just chills this. But I'm not actually 100% positive on all those things. And the one Volcasaur is because this guy ends games. Then my, with the whole level 4 thing that I'm playing, I play of course the Abyss Dweller, Exciton Knight, Castell, which I believe completely replaces 101. And I opted out to play Daigusto Ammo, because you need to shuffle back in like these power cards, like not like if they get rid of a BLS, you can always shuffle it back in. It's really hard to bring out these rank 4s, but in the off chance that it's possible, these are the best ones to play. And like I probably won't summon more than one in a duel, one rank 4 in a duel, but there's a ton of cards that promote being able, and like on top of that, like this format is really not that aggressive, so monsters get to live. Like if I summon a Shaddoll Dragon, there's not really that many main deck monsters that can just summon over it and kill it. And like mixed with like Vanity's Emptiness and all these other cards, like with the Sanctums that are just gonna stop other bigger cards from killing it, I can just next turn summon a Squamata if my hand is really, really terrible, or like remove a Dark that I have for a Wyvern Buster to make like any of these cards, insert any of these cards here. And just being able to put the Wyvern Buster in Graveyard with one of these card effects to summon a Blackluster Soldier to try to end the game is, pretty good. But that's about it for the deck profile. I mean, I don't think there's anything else that like people don't know that I need to cover. But
I love how 101. I've seen it a lot of times. 101 has just been cycled out.
I mean, 101 is still a good card, but I believe this is the only one that does a better job at getting rid of the card. Cause like when you 101 a construct or a Winda, like I highly doubt you would be able to 101 a Winda, but like in the case like if there's a Brick Skull or something, once you detach it, they get their effects. Like cards like Dante, if you 101 a Dante, if it's ever in attack mode for some reason, once you detach it, they get their effects. So it's like Castell just gets rid of the problem. Like it has the same sickness as 101 where the monster has to be in attack mode, but like it completely gets rid of it. It doesn't?
Castell returns
any card.
Any face-up card, man.
It could be a spell trap or monster, anything that's shuffled in.
Oh, look at me learning shit on camera.
Woo!
Alright.
That card is amazing.
But I mostly use it for like its secondary effect to like book my monsters, cause like these flip effects are actually pretty good when you get them all. So
I've
like
seen nobody do that.
I swear to God, I forgot it did that.
Yeah.
Because
no one ever uses its first effect.
When I'm on YGL Pro, when I'm playing on it, when I'm playing on it, it always asks me if I want to which effect I want to use, and I always pick the shuffle. But I keep forgetting that Book of Moon's an option. That's actually great sometimes.
It's a double Book of Moon. Like you can just like you can do a lot of things. Like there's a lot of hints and trips to it. Like if you're able, I don't know how you're gonna be able to bring this out over like Quacking Arrow Draco, but you can like book a Draco, or like I'd probably want to shuffle it in more times out of 10. But like there's certain cards in the format that you would want to like besides your own cards that you would want to book instead of like shuffling them in. I can't for the life of me name any right now because I'm pretty sure you would want to shuffle them in anyways. But it's mainly just to reset my Shaddoll effects. Like that's about it.
It's any card in the field, right? Yeah.
I believe it's target a monster on either place.
No, any card.
No,
Target one face up monster on the field and change it to face up defense position.
Oh, that's the Book of Moon effect.
Yeah. No, the detached 2 effect is target one other face up card on the field. Yeah. You can even shuffle your own shit back in case people didn't know.
Shuffle your Call of Haunted.
I can shuffle a Moral Tech back in.
Alright, so we're learning shit right now. We're just gonna put this video as the learning experience, aka deck profile,
of cards that people just seem to ignore. Like, I mean, people don't ignore like these 2 cards right here. The secondary effects on them aren't that terrible, but people just seem to like not ever use them. Like there's a bunch of swag combos that you can pull off with these secondary effects. Like, if you're ever playing against like Exodia or some shit, like this secondary effect is just the absolute nuts. Like you just prevent yourself from losing. Like I said, the secondary effect on this, like if it was I mean I'm not gonna go into if it was because then we just make Yu-Gi-Oh cards broken. But like the fact that I can just reset Shaddoll effects and stuff like that, like I wish there were other flip effect monsters that were broken, or monsters that got their effect when they're flipped. Like being able to play this in like spellbooks would be ridiculous. Like if you could summon this in spellbooks and like just flip your blue boy back, flip it down and flip it back up, like the second.
I mean, you could do it in Gear. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Actually, Stellar Knights could probably take advantage of this. You could like end phase, you can alter into Deneb, or like Vega alter into Deneb, and then make this put the alter face down, and then flip the alter to bring out another monster, and then on top of that, like Vega into the Neb from in hand. Like there's just so many things that you can do with like booking a monster. Like it blew my mind when I found out that when they're flip summon, they get their effects because it's summon period. Yeah, like summon. I hope I'm not like saying this on camera and
no,
it's not a real thing.
No, it's flipped.
But like
it's any summoning. It's flipped. Normal, like special.
That's just insane. Like I'm
about to turn this part of the video into a discussion about this fucking card.
I mean, we could just do a couple discussion video later if you want. Like,
yeah, that'd be great.
We'll be here for a while. But that's this is the deck that like I would like to play for now. But of course, with new challengers coming out in like literally what, like a week or some shit like that. Like
this weekend,
this whole entire deck is just going to change. So like I hope like people can see this video and like take it to their locals and like do good with it now.
4 days.
But like no, it's not. It's really 4 days.
Yeah.
Oh, it is 4 days. Damn.
It's 4 days.
Damn.
4 days, not 7 days.
I probably
4
should have
days.
got through this a little faster, but. I mean,
3 days.
Fuck it. It'll be up in the morning.
So like I just hope like the people that see this, like they people are already playing this deck. Like there's already profiles on Shadow Artifact decks. Like Shadow Artifact decks are already like placing in these major events. Like I think I don't know if it was a YCS or if it was an AR. No, it was definitely a YCS. No, it was an ARG where Shadow Artifacts was in the 2 of them were in the top 4 versus Burning Abyss, and I believe it was Burning Abyss, and if not Geargia, I think was the top 4.
It's the ARG.
Yeah, that was.
ARG.
I think that was ARG Texas.
Yeah,
ARG Dallas.
I think Abyss.
Yeah, no,
it was Abyss. It was Abyss versus Shadow Artifacts, and Shadow Artifacts versus Geargia.
But Geargia,
Geargia didn't come in second. It lost in top 4. It lost in top 4 to Shadow Artifacts. I think the Burning Abyss won that.
It's because it was the deck main 3 Shadow Mirrors.
The Geargia deck.
Yeah,
that sounds pretty smart.
It's very smart.
Damn.
It's very smart.
Kind of makes me want to main deck these MSTs.
I was told that by Phil Penny told me that. He was like, yeah, I should main. He said, if you enter a major tournament, why don't you Peace Out of Nights main Shadow Mirrors for the
I mean, I don't think there's any events happening this weekend because of the pre-release. No, there's definitely no events happening this weekend. It's just pre-release. So like, there's gonna be a lot of new challenger stuff in the up and coming decks. Like Burning Abyss is gonna take a turn. Shaddoll's definitely going to take a turn. We might see the interaction of like these super heavy samurai cards that are going to do something, I hope. We're getting new BA on the UA Slugger cards. There's a lot of interesting things coming out, but simple statement for the simple statement for the format. If you're not playing Shaddoll Fusion, it's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
Cause like everyone is going to be trying to like summon these Virgils. Everyone is gonna be trying to summon all these extra deck cards, and it's like
I'm trying to find a way just to play. I'm trying to find a way just to have BLS in my deck.
Shaddoll fusioning into these new Earth and Fire Shaddoll monsters is quite possibly gonna be kind of crazy.
Yeah,
do you think
I think one negates special summons and the other one negates spell and traps.
Monster effects that from a special summon monster.
Also, it's a Troptrix Nightmare and a Black Horn of Heaven.
That's still pretty crazy.
And it's but the crazy part about it is that they trigger Shaddoll monsters because it's negate and then it's reveal a Shaddoll monster, negate, and then discard the Shaddoll monster. So it's like if you get to activate any of these effects, it's just stupid. Like
and Falco could set the 3000 defense.
I mean Falco. Yeah, I mean outside of like regecking the board, but like.
Look at this. Look at it. The video.
That's fine.
Only because yeah. So yeah, thanks for the profile again. And this is Joe Grizz signing out. Thank you too. Later, guys. Please stay connected with me by adding me on all my social networks on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Just copy the link into your search bar and add. Thank you.